Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today with the exciting reveal here of all the expected 2025 legendary characters. Now, guys, before I get started here, it's a spoiler alert, so if you don't want to ruin anything and you just want to wait for the announcements to come, by all means, just go ahead and skip this video. Don't watch it. But also, I do want to point out, I don't have a source, I don't have any kind of 100% confirmation, but there's a really, really likely chance, and I'm pretty confident on what I was able to investigate and dig up based on everything that has been now circulated from Marvel Strike Force and Scopely. So I'll let you guys be the judge. I got some information here after a bit of researching and just taking a look, because this is the sort of things that excite me in terms of, understanding what's around the corner, but as well, making these fun little guesses before they happen. And like I said, I'll let you guys be the judge. If you think as well, or if you agree or disagree, feel free to drop that in the comments below. So guys, without further ado, let's get started. In the preparation and announcement of the Age of Annihilus, 3 legendary characters were announced as part of Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and Chapter 3. Obviously now we know Quasar. We originally guessed it was him because of his unique kind of armor, shoulder blade, and even just the way his face is structured. That one was very, very easy, right? Then we have this second figure here, also very obvious, right? His shape is quite unique in Marvel, so we were able to hone in on the fact that this character is likely Blastar, but actually he's already in the data mines too, so there's a pretty good chance Blastar is likely going to be the next legendary character. And at this point now, and even kind of a little bit teased by RJ and Pathfinder yesterday in the Strike Spot stream, is that there's going to be a very, very soon announcement here in terms of just maybe what that's going to be about. If there's a team he's going to be around, likely not, because if you take a look at Quasar as well, he's kind of a plug and play arsenal that you can use in war, right? So I expect Blastar, he's probably going to be some sort of crucible character, maybe some synergies in Battle World, who knows. But I will say though, it's very unique, as you can see in the silhouette here, and almost a slam dunk now that we have confirmed there's information on him in the Datamine files. And usually the Datamine files are updated, typically a month or two before something gets added into the game officially. So that remains to be seen. Now, let's talk about the third one, because this is the one that actually had the most confusion. A lot of us were just throwing guesses out. There's some really cool guesses that I'm going to point out as well. But like I said, guys, I think with all the information we have now and all the different teasers that they've been able to provide, I'm pretty confident on who this character is. So let's do a little bit of context here. Remember that this was actually the first teaser in the Strike Spot. I think Pathfinder was speaking, and then he was able to show this on screen here with the silhouettes. And again, this is a really good one to depict that Blastar is in fact the second legendary, because you can see with that unique kind of hair kind of just sticking out, and it's how thorny it is, very similar. But this third image here, it could be a lot of characters. As you can see here, it's a humanoid. It looks like ears are kind of sticking on the side, and then it also looks like he has a raised up collar, right? So that kind of gives us a lot of options in Marvel, because there can be a lot of characters that have trench coats and has that muscular masculine build. Some of my guesses originally included Franklin Richards. There's been some versions of High Evolutionary being noted here as guesses, and actually, to be honest, the most popular one, and originally I was thinking this as well, is Blue Marvel, right? Because even if you look at the similarities here between Blue Marvel, the way that he has that collar coat, and I would honestly love for it to be Blue Marvel, right? You can just see he is actually one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe. So to have him join the game and to have him kind of be a part of this Annihilus journey, it would be really, really impactful. I still part of me still hopes it is going to be him, but again, we have more teaser images that kind of take this away. So unfortunately, guys, the spoiler here is that I don't think it's a Blue Marvel anymore. I hope there's a chance. There's a very slight chance it could be, but I don't think so based on what they've already released now to the public. So what kind of gave it away here is this second image that they've added. I think this was actually on their Facebook and Twitter a few times, right? So remember, they've been doing a couple of these teasers just to kind of get us hyped, and as well kind of guessing, what's going on. But again, once again, Blastar has that consistent shape, maybe even looking a little bit more like Juggernaut here. But again, I just can't see it not being Blastar, because we saw the little details with the hair and whatnot, and Juggernaut's usually round, so not going to be there. But this one's interesting here. This is where it kind of takes away from the Blue Marvel guess, because if you look here, right, it looks like there's some sort of like scarf or some sort of maybe even a hair or some sort of cape or something that's kind of like flowing. And this is probably the image that took away from my hypothesis that it could be Blue Marvel, or Franklin Richards already been added to the game, so he was just automatically ruled out. But originally, when we guessed Franklin Richards, the Fantastic Four wasn't announced yet, right? So this little kind of cape, kind of hairy, little shadowy figure right around his neck area is kind of what gave it away here. And I started taking a look at some Marvel characters that kind of had that longer hair, right? But the other one that kind of gave it away too was back to the original image that started off in this video, right? This is very interesting. So out of all the 3 images that we have, this is the only one that kind of shows the figure almost kind of holding something, right? But again, it doesn't really look like his head is similar to the other one that we first saw originally. So that's why, you know, I think Marvel Strike Force did this intentionally. They really drew up a lot of hype with this humanoid facing the camera, because you couldn't see the other things around it, right? Like, even if you had long hair, you wouldn't be able to tell from this image because it could just be sleeked back, kind of like how you have Blue Marvel here, right? Very, very similar, as you can see, almost perfect actually. But then this image says otherwise. Maybe there's a cape, maybe there's a hair flow to it. And then lastly, this is what did it for me. You can tell from this image that there clearly is some sort of hair, and he does look like he has a very defined collar, sort of jacket, right? And then it does look like right there, that doesn't look natural. It doesn't look like he's that's his arm being in an upright position. It looks like he's actually holding something. And then that led me to start taking a look at, you know, which characters in Marvel actually hold a weapon and whatnot, because it really does look like now, instead of where you would typically see some sort of energy force with Blue Marvel or other cosmic radiant characters, it does look like he's actually holding a weapon. It does look like he's actually in a position where he's going to be swinging it. So without further ado, guys, here is the teaser, and here is who I strongly believe the 3rd legendary character is going to be. I think it's Thunderstrike. Thunderstrike is I believe he's a combined version of a skilled architect. His name was Eric Matterson, but also endowed with the powers of Thor. So that's why you can see here, right? His hammer is a little different from Thor's hammer, because this is actually a different weapon. But yeah, he does have the powers of the Asgardian because he's partially Thor and partially human. And as you can see right here, even if he was facing directly, if his hair was down, it actually looks very similar to the first image. When he's holding that weapon, and it's a little bit more rounded than what we've seen with the other Thor weapons that he's honed, right? It looks very, very similar to this mace that he's holding right here at the right angle. And then finally, what gave it away, like I said here, is the fact that when he was kind of turned, it looks like there's a bit of flow to him, whether it's a cape or hair, and almost exactly like the hair that he has right there, guys. And like I said earlier, the high collar on this jacket, the way he swings, I'm very, very confident it's probably Thunderstrike, guys. But let me know what you think in the comments below, though. Do you still think it's Blue Marvel after this analysis? I think it's going to be Thunderstrike. And remember, because this is a Chapter 3 character, he's coming in the later, Q3, Q4 of the year. So this is going to be well past the summer months, but there can also be room for changes. Maybe they announce something, but I think with 3 teased images now, it's all but now confirmed in terms of the character. So let me know what you guys think, though. I'm curious to hear if there's any suggestions. Maybe I missed a Marvel character, but this Thunderstrike character does fit the mold for everything, and he looks pretty BA if you ask me, right? Any kind of Asgardian being added with that kind of fortitude. It is unfortunate, though, because I was pretty hyped up for Blue Marvel, but Thunderstrike still looks like he's going to kick some butt. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.